Well, a good Saturday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecast Camera back here once again, here to give you guys a quick weather video regarding the snowfall potential on Monday. We're going to talk to you guys about more rain coming in as we get towards tomorrow, and then we're going to talk to you guys about the rest of the month and how February may end up shaping out here. So, as always, this video is sponsored by our partners at Superior RV in Conway, Arkansas here. So, if you've been looking for rain, we've had plenty of it throughout the day today here. Southeastern Arkansas, you still need it. There's still a drought down there in southeastern Arkansas. But folks in central, and I mean western Arkansas and southwestern Arkansas, we've gotten a good amount of rain over the last month. And I don't know about you guys, but our yard is just completely just soggy here at the weather center here, guys. So hopefully we can kind of get a couple of days to kind of dry things out, like don't go in a month's drought, but we do need a little bit of time for our ground to kind of dry out just for a little bit for it to kind of properly soak into the ground here. So, speaking of tomorrow and into Monday here, you can take a look out towards our west out here in Colorado, western and southwestern Kansas, the Texas, Oklahoma panhandle out here towards New Mexico. This is our next disturbance that's going to pull through as we get towards tomorrow and into your Monday time frame, and that is what is going to result in the potential of winter weather, possibly some snowfall for our folks in northern and northwestern Arkansas. As you can see, a good amount of snow already developing back out here towards New Mexico and Texas. A prolific snow event is expected for our folks over here in Texas and Oklahoma over the next 12 to 24 hours. I haven't looked at data for those out there, but it does appear you guys can see upwards to 6 to 8 inches of snow. Could be some locally higher amounts out there. So if you're planning on going west over the next 24 to 48 hours, just keep that in mind at this point here. So let's go ahead and go over to our winter weather advisory that we have in place right now here. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the winter weather advisory here. So right now it's for just northwestern Arkansas. That includes Fayetteville, Harrison, and Jasper. For our folks in north central and in northeastern Arkansas, I wouldn't be shocked if we wake up first thing tomorrow morning or at some point during the day tomorrow that your area is added to the winter weather advisory here. So that's something that we're going to continue to monitor here. For our folks in western Arkansas, from Fort Smith all the way down to Mena, it is a question mark right now. It just depends on if you can get some snow bands to make it that far south. Temperatures are going to be what we call marginal. These are not going to be temperatures that were in the teens and 20s like we saw back in January. These are going to be temperatures that are going to be in the upper 20s, the low to mid 30s here. So you can still get snow, and make this clear, you can still get snow at 33, 34, 35 degrees. If you guys lived in here in Little Rock, we had an event like that last month where temperatures were pretty marginal, like 34, 35 degrees, and we still had accumulations on the ground. Even though it didn't melt, it was out of here that later on that evening into that night, we still had accumulating snowfall here in central Arkansas. So you can still get accumulating snow with temperatures that are at or just above freezing here. But yeah, just kind of want to address that because a lot of people were asking about the the expansion of the winter weather advisory that could go for our folks up there in northern Arkansas here. And the winter weather advisory is going to go until noon on a Monday. Could get extended possibly into the mid-afternoon hours, especially for our folks in northeastern Arkansas here, okay? So let's go ahead and talk to you guys about the snowfall potential here. Now, the snowfall potential still remains the same from this morning here. We still have northwestern Arkansas seeing about 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. Our folks across northern Arkansas, north central Arkansas, and northeastern Arkansas, you could see upwards to about a trace, possibly up to a half an inch of snowfall. It just depends on timing, how fast the system's going, and your temperatures. And your temperatures are going to play a very key role as we get towards Monday. The further south and west you go, down towards Fort Smith, Waldron, in the Mena area, you could also see a trace to half an inch up there, mainly in the higher elevation areas here. Down in the valley, it's going to kind of be a rain, snow mix with little to no accumulations. But up in the higher elevations is where you're going to have the best shot of seeing some snowfall, possibly some accumulating snowfall as we get towards your day on Monday here. Now, for travel-wise, we do have what we call a moderate risk for travel impacts, especially for our folks up there in northwestern Arkansas as we get towards Monday morning, especially if you're planning on commuting, coming out of Fayetteville, going towards the Bentonville area. If you're traveling along Interstate 49, that's something that you're going to have to monitor as we get towards first thing Monday morning here, okay? So let's take a look at our winter weather outlook here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start in northern Arkansas, and we're going to make our way south. So Obviously, North Arkansas winter weather advisory. We've got an area highlighted in far northwestern Arkansas for the potential of seeing some heavy snow. Now, if you go into Missouri, southeastern Kansas, Oklahoma, that is where you're going to have the best shot of seeing the heavier snowfall potential. But I can't rule it out for our folks, especially up there in far northwestern Arkansas, which that does include Fayetteville. Further to the south, yes, we have you guys as snow, as all snow. However, it is going to be primarily a light to moderate snow. It could start off with a little bit of rain. I just think temperatures are going to be cold enough for you to have a primary snowfall event, especially for our folks in north central to far northeastern Arkansas here. And then further south from there in that pink area, you're going to go from rain to possibly a light snow by the time we get towards the end of the event, with little to no accumulations being expected. And then obviously once you get into the green area, that's the metro, down towards El Dorado, Texarkana, Lake Village, over to Memphis. It's a cold rain, and it's going to be a very cold rain with temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s here. Rainfall totals by then looks to be about an inch. In some places may get a little higher than that. But it's not going to be an excessive heavy rainfall event for those areas here. But it is going to be a rather cold rain for our folks in central and southern Arkansas here. Okay, so travel-wise, across western, northwestern Arkansas, the moderate risk up there. Like I said before, expect hazardous conditions. You know, some areas could be snow-covered or ice-covered first thing Monday morning. So keep that in mind, especially for our folks up there. I wouldn't be shocked if we had school closings first thing Monday morning for our folks up there in northwestern Arkansas. But things should melt and be out of here by the time we get into Monday night and into Tuesday, with temperatures moderating back into the 40s and the 50s across the area here, okay? So let's talk about timing. The timing map, by the way, is going to get posted after this video is on Facebook. It's going to be attached with your 8-day forecast. 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. out there in northwestern Arkansas. That's from late Sunday night going into Monday morning here. So Monday morning commute, northwestern Arkansas, Interstate 49, it's going to be a little hazardous first thing Monday morning, so please keep that in mind. And then you go to the east a little bit. You have from Walnut Ridge to Blytheville to Jonesboro, all the way down to Russellville to the Waldron-Mena area. We're going from 1 p.m. Monday afternoon to 6 p.m. And then by that point, we should be done with this system, and temperatures are going to start to moderate as we get into the upcoming week here. Okay, so going over the highlights, now that I've gotten all of the winter weather perspective out of here, do we have any more Arctic air coming in? That's the number one question I've seen on social media here. Are we going to have any more Arctic cold air coming our way? Widespread rainfall chances still continue into Monday, and as I just mentioned before, the winter weather potential across northern and northwestern Arkansas as we get towards today on Monday here. So for tonight, temperatures pretty chilly across the area. I meant to put rainfall chances across eastern Arkansas. I don't know why that didn't go through. You guys have about a 50 to 60% chance of rainfall over there. That should clear out this evening and into tonight, and then you will have another round come in as we get towards later today on Sunday here. So I do apologize for the graphic error. That was supposed to be a 50 to 60% chance of rainfall over there. Let's just say from Little Rock to El Dorado points east, that is where the rainfall totals are supposed to be. But regardless, that's what we got as we get towards tonight here, okay? And as always, go download our weather app, especially if you need the latest winter weather advisories, any watches that may get issued, you need radar, you need a 7-day forecast, or you simply just need our post from Facebook. Go download our weather app. It's going to be Arkansas Weather Watchers in your Play Store on Apple or on Google here, guys. So let's talk to you guys about the ongoing deal about are we going to have any cold air coming in. So this is looking at the European model, this is the European model ensemble, excuse me. So this takes a lot of scenarios and we're just putting into one complete model, basically one centralized model that kind of gives the idea of like a million other scenarios, if that makes sense. So this is going into this upcoming week. Like I mentioned before, temperatures are going to moderate. You know, this is what we call a delayed January thaw across the board. We still have those warmer temperatures across the area, but look out towards the west and northwest. Now remember, when we said a couple of days, well, it was about a week ago, we never said that winter was over with. We never said that, and we never said we weren't going to see any winter weather. The question has been, how cold are we actually talking? Are we talking a January 2.0, or are we talking about temperatures that are below normal but not as cold as January was. So that's something that I wanted to kind of stress out. We were telling you guys that winter's not done just yet, but is it going to be a January repeat? That's very questionable. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, to get one of that extent, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of cold air to build up there in Canada and in the Alaskan area and the Arctic regions. It takes a lot of cold air to build, and then it finally comes south here. So we can see that happening as we get towards later this upcoming week. And then you can see by the time you get into the upcoming weekend, yes, it does get colder, by the way. So it's not going to stay warm. I know. For our warm weather fans, I know. But it is going to get colder as we get towards next weekend here. Now, the question remains, are we going to see this? Are we going to see this massive Arctic air move south, or is it going to be a glancing blow? That's the number one question that we're trying to figure out right now here, because if you go with the Euro, yes, we do have that Arctic air moving south as we get towards late weekend and into the next week time frame. However, if you go with the ensemble of the GFS, different story. You still have that cold air to the north, yes, but it's a glancing blow to the northeast. So, yes, it is going to get colder. Let me make that clear. How cold are we talking? That's the one question that we're still trying to pinpoint across the area here. But don't get used to the warm weather. Winter is still here. We're still in February. No one's saying that winter's over with just yet. It is going to get cold, but we'll have to wait and see on how cold we get. And before just kind of looking at things over the next, let's say 10 days here. As you can see, this is the probability of seeing 1 inch of snowfall or greater. Our folks up there in northwestern Arkansas, you have the best shot. But let's take this out, all the way to 16 days. If you go with the GFS ensemble, northern Arkansas looks like it's going to be the winner. I think the GFS ensemble may end up being a little bit too warm. Now let's go over to, let's go over to the Euro, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to 360 hours out, and you can see northern Arkansas once again has the best shot, but I can't rule it out for our folks down in the central Arkansas at this point here. So a lot to monitor. Winter's not done just yet, folks. Just have a little patience with this, guys. It is going to get colder, but the question still remains, how cold are we talking? We'll continue to keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.